Hi, it's Robert Murray, and welcome to this week's Leadership Minute, the 1 minute leadership video where I've got a minute to ask a question from leaders like you. The big question I have for you now is as we leave our home offices and we start to get back into the world, as the restrictions around us and moving about, the social distancing restrictions start to ease up, what does that mean from a leadership perspective, and how do we create this new normal? And the new normal is so overused, but it's true. There is going to be that new normal. One of the things for us to remember as leaders, though, is as our people come back, is that people are going to be fearful. There's going to be an incredibly high level of anxiety, and that's all created from a very, very tiny, tiny, tiny part in our brain called the amygdala. And the amygdala is responsible for our safety. It thinks incredibly fast, and by safety, it was originally designed hundreds of thousands of years ago to keep us physically safe from stuff that could really hurt us. Today, though, it spends most of its time thinking about psychological safety or our status in a group. So that's all been challenged now as a result of what's happened in the first quarter and leading into the second quarter of 2020 with the COVID issue that's around the world. Is that we now as leaders are going to have a whole team of people who are coming back to work thinking about their psychological safety, thinking about their status. And if I think about the amygdala, that part of our brain that's responsible for that, that part of our brain is very, very powerful because it drives our emotions, and our emotions drive how our rational brain behaves. So you see normally rational people behaving incredibly irrational because of some level of anxiety, or whatever that feeling happens to be, but it's all driven by that amygdala, that part of our brain that keeps us safe. And what it will do is that if it's uncertain, it will behave very much like a guard dog. It'll be on guard, and it'll be very, very uncharacteristic in the way it behaves. Or if it feels safe, that part of our brain, and our status is not challenged as we come back into what the new culture is going to look like in your organization, because your culture will change. It behaves much like a lovable guide dog, and one that works to be part of the team and connect with other people, and create that belonging that's so important in your culture. So your job then as a leader is to create this safe place where people can feel incredibly safe. Their psychological safety is not challenged whatsoever. So in other words, you understand what they're going through. You share some vulnerabilities with them that you have yourself. You walk the talk in terms of the culture that you want to build. You are very, very focused on them, not as a worker or not as the skills that they have, but as a human being, and making sure that you're connecting with them and asking them more and more about what's going on in their life. Super, super important. And so just remember that all of us have this pea-sized part of our brain called the amygdala that drives all of our emotions, and all of our emotions drive rational behavior. And if your people are acting irrational, it's because that part of our brain is being challenged. So I'm going to wrap it up from here, but please, if you've got any questions about how you're going to be able to do that and how you're going to be able to preserve that culture that you may had before this, or how do you want to build the culture going forward, please reach out to me. So until then, thanks very much. Take care, and we'll see you soon.